Donc, bonjour, Franck Simon, FranciX. Donc, bienvenue parmi nous. Je vais rapidement en fait basculer en anglais parce qu'il y a un certain nombre de participants qui ne sont pas francophones. Donc, je vais faire ma présentation en anglais, sauf pour les comptes. Je ne sais pas encore, en fonction de l'humeur du moment, si je les présenterai au français ou en anglais, du fait de l'utilisation de certains mots comptables. So, welcome to everybody. And I will run this morning my presentation in English. So I will run the report for 2013, and I will also present you the roadmap for next year. So just before starting, as a reminder, as you know, various people in this room are connected either directly to France-IX. Some of you are catching France-IX through an internet exchange, things like Unix, Topics, Lukex, and so on. And a few of you are also connected via resellers. And I know that we have some participants here, for instance, from IXReach, Neo Telecom, and also Phoebe. I will detail the resellers we have. So just as a reminder, we have 3 partnerships with both national and regional exchange points, and 2 partnerships with international exchange points close to France. As you know, the aim was not to run as many partnerships as possible. We did receive requests from some other foreign IXP saying we want also to be a partner of France-IX and we want to have an interconnection between our country and France-IX. Well, I've raised this point to our board, and the answer of the board was pretty clear. The aim is not to collect as many partnerships as possible. It is just to run realistic partnerships, or there must be a good reason to set up such partnership. The first reason is we run partnership with close country to France. And the second one is that if it's not a close country to France, at least there must be French speakers so that we run partnership with an internet exchange catching French content. And so this is the reason why we don't have in mind to set up as many partnerships as possible. I will detail in the roadmap what we have in mind about that. But keep in mind that to run a partnership with France-IX, either you have to be close to France or you have to host French content. Now, I think it's important for you to know that there are humans running France-IX. France-IX is not only a matter of 1 or 2 persons. We are a small team today, but it's a strong team. And in my team, I have a technical manager, a system manager who is here. Also a senior developer. It was a request we had this year because, for instance, we wanted to run several developments for our portal. It was important for us to have a nice portal to integrate tools in such portal. And in fact, you need a professional developer for that. So we hired the senior developer this year. And I think this is something we are going to continue to work on. Of course, we have marketing manager, Soline, that you know because of all the events we organize. She now has a marketing assistant, and we also have a professional multimedia project manager, and he's the guy running the website, the portal, the design of all our commercial supports and so on. And it was important for us to have an internal resource to run that and not to outsource such element because communication must be managed internally. Of course, to complete that, we have an external press relation agency to help us in the communication. We have an external accountant to run all the accounts of France-IX and all the documents produced today for you, and the documents on which you will vote this afternoon are produced by this external accountant because we need to produce professional documents for the accounts. And of course, we have an external NOC. And I will detail that point later on. So for the NOC, we decided to change the NOC in January. We had worked with Whitby for the first 2 years. And we decided to look for another partner. And this partner is Border6. So this is a small company, Border6. But I think that in our case, it's important to have a very reactive company when we do have requests for our NOC. We could have chosen a very big entity to run the NOC, But you may know that if you work with a big entity, then the processes and so on are very, very strict. And in the case of France AX, we need to have a small team very reactive in front of us and very comprehensive for the constraints we may have. So we decided to work with a small company, and I think they are running a pretty good job. And for now, they are doing the level 1 support. This is 24/7 support. And maybe the question will be asked, but we decided not to allow members to phone to our NOC. Some big members ask, well, what's the phone number to reach a NOC? I decided not to allow members to call the NOC by phone, because we want to have a written notice of the request we do receive, because we want to trace that, to have feedback about the time it took to get an answer and so on. And with the phone, it is not guaranteed. So there are two points to reach NOC. The first one is you can use our portal, and now we have a single sign-on portal. With the same login password, you can access to our information system, but also to the trouble ticket system. And the URL for that is tools.franceax.net. And of course, if you want to catch a NOC in an easier way, just drop a mail to NOC@franceax.net, and it will automatically open a ticket in the trouble ticket system run by the NOC. And there are automatic escalation done by the NOC to level 2. Today, level 2 is run by France AX, but we are working closely with our NOC to make sure that by the time they integrate also the level 2, and so that we have less pressure on France AX engineers to concentrate on the engineering and so on. Now for the backbone, I will take quite some time to discuss about that, because we have met several issues during 2013, and it won't be honest from our side not to talk about that. So the last issue we had was beginning of September, and it was on our Brocade chassis. We have two types of chassis on France AX. In the core backbone, we are running VPLS, and the VPLS stuff is hosted on the Brocade boxes. So we have, I will be slightly technical, but we have PE and PE routers on France AX. And the PE is for the connection of the members, of course, because they are only seeing the layer 2. But in fact, there is PE functionality on the edge equipment collecting the members. And then there is an interconnection between this equipment and the core backbone. And the core backbone are PE routers. And both PE and PE are Brocade MLX. The issue we had was all the time it did start with flaps on line cards. So we have trunks between the edge collecting the members and the core collecting the backbone links. And it did start with some instabilities and flaps on the line cards. Afterward, the chassis hosting the line card either became crazy, or at least the line card starting to reboot all the time, and packets were still trying to go through this line card. So on France AX, we have two cores. And we have one core on Telehouse 2 and one core in Interaction 5. The issue was in Telehouse 2, between the edge equipment and the core equipment. And after the flaps, the line card interconnecting the core and the edge went crazy. And in fact, we have a backup path, but the backup path didn't work. So after this outage that did last 20 minutes, we have done a full inventory of all the configuration of the equipment to understand why we have that. And we were helped also by some engineers from the French community, and I do thank these people. Some of them are there today. So not only we were with France AX engineers, but we did add some help from members of France AX, because this was a very tricky issue we had. And the point is that as I was saying, we have two cores, and we should have automatic backup between the first core and the second one when there is the issue. But because of the flaps on the LACP, the ports remain up. There was just a flap for a few seconds, but the port of the LACP remain up. And we had BFD running on the equipment, and it was BFD for ISIS and BFD for MPLS. And in fact, the issue came from BFD. BFD didn't send the appropriate order to MPLS to reroute the traffic. So we had a backup path, but the traffic didn't go on the backup path. And so the afternoon following the outage, we decided to remove BFD because at first we wanted to have very high level of resilience, but the result is that with too many protocols to have resilience, at the end you bring complexity in the backbone. And this is because we had complexities that the backup didn't work, because the combination of BFD plus ISIS and VPLS didn't work properly on our equipment. So there was an urgent maintenance on the day after to remove BFD, and BFD for ISIS and BFD for VPLS has been removed. And so we decided to simplify the architecture and to find a better compromise between resilience and issues because of complexity brought because of the resilience we want to reach. So now I think we reached the end of the issues, but we decided to run an action plan because we can't say, okay, we are not lucky or we are not happy with the broken equipment and so on. My point is not to find a reason to explain why it crashed. I just wanted to be transparent to you, to explain what happened, and to show you what we have done since to avoid having new outage in such critical equipment. So the action plan is as follows. The first point is we upgrade all the broken chassis. And you have seen that during 1 week, there was maintenance almost one per day to upgrade one by one all the chassis we had on the infrastructure. Because as we are running VPLS, we wanted to have not the latest OS version, but at least a recent enough version of the OS to make sure that the functionality of MPLS was running in a nice way in the equipment. So we did upgrade all the chassis. The second step is the one I just explained, and we remove PFD both for ISIS and VPLS. So we keep the main path for the core and the backup path. And during the maintenance where we did remove BFD, the guys also did test that the rerouting was working. So they reproduced the problem we had. They started to shut down a port from the LACP as to reproduce the issues that was at first LACP flapping, so one port up and down within the aggregation of the links. So during the maintenance, the engineers did check. Of course, they removed BFD, but they also put voluntary one port down within the LACP to check that the backup was working and it did work properly. So I just hope that now we are facing the end of the issues we had, but it was important for me to explain you and to be transparent. Of course, it did impact Telehouse too, so this was one pop out of 7, but I don't want to justify because of that. This is the pop where we have the most members, so even if 6 pops were up, I think it was a major outage. This is why I want to be transparent to you, and I don't want to justify saying, okay, but there were 6 pops running. This was a major outage, and this is the explanation and the issues we had. But also, we decided to set up a lab, because till now we had no lab. And the issue for us was that when we wanted to run new operating system and so on, we had no equipment to run new functionalities and so on. So each time we are doing an upgrade, there was somewhere a small risk. So to avoid that, we decided to set up, and this is an ongoing point, we decided to set up a lab. And this lab will be hosted in a new POP dedicated for the lab. And as we have a lot of spare equipment, both Force 10 and also we shall have a brocade spare equipment, we are going to run 4 racks in the lab. There will be 1 rack dedicated to France-X to reproduce exactly the design we have in the core. So each time we will have an update in the backbone and so on, we will test it before. And if we want to run a new OS, we will run it first in the equipment. And if we have an outage, I hope not, but if we have an outage, we will be able to reproduce it on the spare equipment and not on the backbone, of course. And there was discussion within the board to say, okay, it's nice to have a lab, but why wouldn't we allow our members to get access to the lab? That's why we decided to run 3 racks. And the 3 other racks will contain servers also on their switching and routing equipment. And we will see how we can set up a booking system to allow the members to book part of the lab. And also members will be able to have, on a reservation base, access to the lab. Of course, they will not have access to the part dedicated to France AX. But as we have many spare equipment, I think this is also a nice way to share and to provide such equipment for the community of France AX. Now, as I mentioned previously, Telehouse 2 POP is the biggest POP we have today. And a lot of members are connected there. I think there are more than 100 members connected on that POP. And till now, we had an MLX8 for the core, the P functionality, and MPLX16 for the edge, the one collecting the members. But it's not enough. The MLX16 is almost full. So we decided to set up an additional chassis. And what we will do is that we will split the members connected with 10 gig ports from members connected with 1 gig. So instead of having everybody connected to a single chassis, we will keep the members connected with 10 gig ports in the MLX16. And we will take the members connected to 1 gig or less in a dedicated chassis. And we will interconnect, of course, the 2 chassis. And it will help us to have some free slots in the MLX16 in which we will insert line cards, 10 gig line cards with much more density. And to install that, of course, the first point was to deploy an additional rack for patch panels, because the additional issue we had also was that we have many links and there is no meet me room on Telehouse 2. I think many of you know this site. There is no meet me room. And the issue is that all the members are coming with their cross-connect in one rack, and it takes all the place in the 4th floor. And the 4th floor is full. So we need to dedicate another rack for the connection of the members. This is what we have done during summer. And now there are new patch for additional connections because there was no place anymore to bring members in the existing cabinet. And also there was a maintenance this week to reorganize the servers and the out-of-band equipment. So all of that is part of a global reorganization of Telehouse 2. And as I mentioned, step 4 will be run next week. So the maintenance should be announced. Just for you to know, I think the ticket has not been sent yet. But as you are there will be a maintenance in the night of Wednesday to Thursday between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And in this maintenance, we will move all the members connected to 100 meg, 1 gig. And in fact, the members using only small traffic, they will be moved to a new chassis. And we will interconnect the new chassis to this edge and also to the core, of course. So you will all receive a mail mentioning explicitly the list of members that will be affected by this maintenance. I think the impact for each member will be small, because what we'll do is that we will migrate line card per line card, and we'll interconnect the 2 chassis. So the outage for each member will be only a few minutes, but as we have many connections to migrate, I think we won't have too much with 2 hours of work. So it will be done between 4 and 6, because this is the time in the night where there is the less traffic. Now, you are aware of the renumbering. And if there are guys in this room that did not remember yet, please come to see me, because I plan to contact them in a few days, and I won't be as diplomatic as I've been before, because the renumbering process is supposed to be completed. So it did start, I think it was in end of June, July. We decided, as it was summer, to give 1 month more, August, to let the members renumber. But now, if you have not remembered, well, the first point is that we have shut down the BGP session on the route servers. So you should have seen your BGP peering with our route server shutting down, or at least falling down. So please do not call our NOC to understand why the peering with the BGP session is down. This is normal. You should have migrated to the new addressing plan. And it was mandatory, in fact, because of the number of members we had. So we migrated from a /24 to a /23. And as you may know, today we have 235 members, something like that. And the good point is that most of them are peering with the route server. I switched to the information system because, in fact, all now is working with such information system at France-AX. The website, most of the pages are automatically generated by the content we have in the information system. The portal, all the content you have, most of the content is within the information system. The billing is done by the information system. And this is quite hard work. It took us, I think, almost 1 year to set up that, but this is very important. Now we have a critical mass on France-AX, and there was no other choice at setting up a professional information system to continue to run the operations. And of course, the invoicing is done automatically for the members. Not fully yet, at least the invoicing for the members connected directly to France-AX. Now for the invoicing for members connected via resellers, this is the next step we will add in our information system to also automate this process. And even, for instance, the route server configurations now are generated automatically. They are not pushed automatically on the servers because we do a manual check behind that, but at least the content to be added in the config files on the route server is automatically generated by the information system, and then we just do a copy-paste on the server itself. And we also have a single sign-on for the connection to our extranet portal. Meanwhile, before having the information system, we had a former portal that was named portal.franceax.net. You had IDs for that, and then you had additional IDs to connect on France-AX website. And so there were a lot of questions for members. Why isn't there a global ID to connect on both the trouble ticket system plus your website? It was just because we had no information system, and the trouble ticket system was run by our NOC, and we were running the website on our own, so there was no communication between the two. Now, everything is hosted on France-AX servers, and everything is run internally by the team. So you have a single sign-on to connect on all our system, and it's much easier. Now, what are we going to do for 2014? First point is that, of course, we are going to optimize and upgrade the backbone. Today, we have dark fibers between POPs within Paris. And we have primary paths and also redundant paths. But some of the redundant paths are not optimized in terms of lanes. So we are forced to use long-haul optics, colored optics, for the interconnection of that POPs. And as we are using passive DWDM, you may be aware that this is very nice to have passive DWDM, but the constraint of that is that you are bringing more attenuation on the DWDM link. So for instance, of the backend link, we were forced to put 80 kilometers optics to have the backup link working. Meanwhile, it was 40 kilometers optic for the primary path. And we would prefer to be able to have only 40 kilometers optics. So we are going to work on optimization of the secondary and the backup path also. And also how to have diverse paths through other operators. And we will also upgrade equipment. Upgrade equipment does not mean only upgrade operating system, but also see how to integrate higher density ports. And maybe you could ask for, are we going to run 100 gig, for instance? Last year I said no for 2013. but I don't want to say no for the next point. But it does not mean that we'll provide 100 gig to our members, because the first point where we would need such capacity is the core backbone. So anyway, this is an ongoing and open discussion with vendors, because today the price for 100 gig was not reasonable. Even if it decreased during this year, it's still not reasonable. So if we do that, it means that it's also a new way to introduce the business model to be sure that we can integrate that. So it does not mean that we should buy 100 gig technology, because it may change by the time, but see how, for instance, we could have a kind of rent for such technology to be able to upgrade it each time it's optimized, or each time there is the next step for 100 gig. So today I think that for the short term we are not going to run 100 gig, but if we do it, the first point will be the backbone. Because for instance, today we have 2 times 60 gig between the two cores, 2 times because we have two diverse paths. But I think that because we have a lot of big members that will be connected within 1 month, maximum 2 months from now, the traffic on FranceX is going to grow drastically. And I cannot say yet who are these members, but there will be announcement within the next few weeks, but the traffic on FranceX will increase drastically. And also, a lot of members are using the route servers, but some of you still do not want to use the route servers because there is no real validation process of the routes collected there. And so we are going to work with the content of the RIPE database and so on to validate the routes. And so this is the next step. We did introduce BGP communities to help some members to filter or to accept or not some routes, but this is not enough. We need to validate route per route and say this route has been validated by checking the database and so on to make sure that we avoid issues with false routes or routes that do not belong to the appropriate AS, for instance. Now for the new services. I think that now, till now, we didn't develop really new services. We developed a reseller program more than 1 year ago, but now we want to work on new services. We may deploy a few other POPs, but not that many. So I think now this is the point to set up new services. And one of the new services I would like to set up beginning of next year is SIP peering. FranceX is participating in many international events. And each time I have this question, are you going to run SIP peering? And in fact, there are some people that would be ready to come on FranceX if we run that. And they will come specifically for this type of service. And so this is something we are going to work on in 2014. Also, we are working now for a few months on a multimedia transport service. The idea is to see how, for instance, the content, the multimedia files hosted by TV channels and so on could go through FranceX. I'm not talking about video you use via Dailymotion or YouTube. I am talking about the content hosted by the entities of the TV generating the files themselves that they exchange between studios and TV, for instance. And studios running the job for TVs are asking for such service, except that they are not professional from the network. And so we need to find a solution how to catch such content on FranceX, considering that the end user is not a professional of the internet. So we need to integrate operators and so on in that and see how with our reseller offer we can build a full package to allow such member to send the content on FranceX. Also, today, for instance, we allow IP transit on FranceX, but you can sell or buy full or partial IP transit on FranceX, but you are not allowed to run it in the IPv4 or IPv6 unicast VLAN. You must run it in a private VLAN. But so you could say, okay, the marketplace is already there. Okay, we have the tools But then marketplace is not only, okay, I have a VLAN, this is private VLAN, then you can do what you want in this VLAN, and then this is marketplace. No. For me, the marketplace is much more than providing a few VLANs to do what you want. This is a full package in which you have a portal, a gateway, automatic billing, and so on. People say, okay, I'm selling that. Do you want to buy it? Okay, at this price. Okay, I'll take it. Automatic configuration of the circuit, and so on. And so this is something we are really going to concentrate for next year. I think it will require a lot of developments. This is why I was mentioning that we have a senior developer now in the team. And I think this is one of the points we are going to consolidate. Maybe we will need to have a second developer to work on that. Now for the additional partnerships, I talked about that during my first part of the presentation. So we are discussing with a few other data centers in Paris to have a few POPs, but the point is not to develop a lot of new POPs. We are also in discussion with foreign IXPs, but that time they are not in France. And this was my argument when I did start my speech. We want to set up partnership only with either French-speaking countries or close countries. And you may know that in Africa, you have a lot of French-speaking countries. And France AX is also taking part in a program that is called EXIS. This is a program to help to set up Internet exchange in Africa. And myself and some other people in the team are also involved in the training program to help African countries or French-speaking African countries to set up Internet exchange in their countries. And the point is that I'm willing to help, but if there is a long-term partnership with such exchange, it's not, okay, I was there, I've seen light in the room, I help, okay, bye-bye, good luck. No, we want to set up long-term partnership with such countries. Otherwise, I think we have enough work to run. So we are happy to help only if there is a partnership and long-term work with them. Now, this is for my part, and I will let the floor to Soline that will emphasize the events we have run in 2013. Thanks for your attention.